Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Regarding how to live in the world, how to deal with the evil-minded people who are there inevitably in a society at all times, because it's a combination. This world is a combination of good and bad things. Wherever there is positivity, there will be negativity also. So good and bad go together. In this creation of God, there is a variety of things: men, animals, trees, plants. Among the animals, some are good, some bad. There are ferocious animals like tiger, some trees bear fruits sweet as nectar, others bear fruits that is poisonous. Likewise, among human beings, there are the good and wicked, the holy and the unholy. There are some who are devoted to God and others who are attached to the world. So, here Sri Ramakrishna tells to cover yourself, superimpose upon yourself a little of tamas to show an angry face, or just to protect yourself. Inside you will be smiling and laughing, and this also making a show of getting angry or showing should not go to the extreme. You must be able to judge the situation, the person on whom you are exercising. It may result in something bad. Your harshness, though you show harshness, may turn it to be a huge catastrophe, that you are not able to manage the situation after that. Anything for that matter, anything which is extreme is not good. You must be within limits. And we in Ramakrishna tradition, we follow the middle path in everything. In sadhana, in service, in contact with the external people, in dealing with our own inner problems, inner conflicts. We do in such a way that two extremities are avoided. There was one boy who was fond of chakuli, a dish that is sold. His mother used to make condiments and sell. So how much she is preparing, how much she is eating. After all, son eating, she did not bother. From childhood he picked up such a taste that he goes on eating now and then. Move about here and there, take a few, put in the pocket and go. While playing, go on eating. And then as he grew up, college days and all, his consumption will be very high. When small boy, he can eat about 10 or 12 chakulis a day. But when he becomes a college boy, then they did not know how to control it. Hundreds will end every day. She is doing for money and he is finishing it off. So they told him, scolded him in various ways. Nothing is coming to a standstill, everything is standstill, same thing is continuing. Then somebody suggested, like modern trend is to ultimately go to the psychiatrist or psychologist for counseling. Then they took him to the doctor. The moment they were taking him to the doctor, he knew what is the purpose, because he is a college student, not that he doesn't know. He went inside and he told his mother and father that I want to talk to the doctor first personally. Then you can meet him and tell your problems. Then he went inside to the doctor and told, Doctor, they have brought me here to you. They think it's a psychological problem for me. I eat a little more. Is eating chakli is wrong or is a problem? I eat a little more. They eat other things. I eat chaklis. For that they have brought me to you for treatment. The doctor says, no, chakli eating is not at all a psychological problem. It is normal for everybody to eat chocolate. You like it, you may be eating a little more. Yes, doctor, I eat a little more. Means I like it so much, I will be eating. See, he will take out from this pocket and keep on the table. From this pocket, it keeps in pocket, on the table. This pocket. Then doctor will be worrying. His table is full already. From various pockets he has taken. Then he brings his suitcase and opens and shows. It will be full of chokli. Then doctor understands what is the treatment. So anything extreme, the boy doesn't accept it to be an abnormality, but anything, it is normal. Excessive means how much excessive? Beyond certain limits, it becomes a disease, a problem. So, we avoid the extremes so that it will not become a problem for others and for us. So, within the limits, we will be just watching who can bear how much to awaken, to alarm, to give just a suggestion that he is doing wrong and he should not do. That much is sufficient. Hissing is sufficient. Thakur, that is why he says, you should not put women in anticipation of something happening. You may hiss. So men are divided into four classes. Those bound by the fetters of the world, the seekers after liberation, the liberated, and the ever free. Four types of human beings. That is, bound by the fetters of the world. They are attached to the objects of the world, objects of enjoyment, possession, and the seekers after liberation. Some want to, they have become saturated, enough of this world, because they constantly, from early days, lives after lives they have experienced and come. In the early days itself, they start recognizing the world to be passing events, and all enjoyments, what we call enjoyments, are pleasures which are short-lived, extremely short-lived. One cup of coffee may give you some amount of joy. Second cup already reduced. Third cup, and how long it will remain? As long as it is on the tongue. And next cup, the law of diminishing return applies. it goes on reducing. 10th cup, you are saturated. Oh, no, I cannot take, enough. 11th will start coming out. The same thing, coffee, was giving so much of joy, is giving dukkha now. Now, this sukha, dukkha are not there in the coffee. Sukha is not there in the coffee. When the senses come in contact with the object of senses, a little joy is released from your inside. There is ocean of joy. Just like a tank is full, huge tank is there which can supply to the whole city, and you take a few drops in your house through a tap. Like that, huge ocean is within, and a few drops come out when you enjoy anything of this world, and it evaporates, momentary. Actually, we don't call it happiness, we don't call it even joy, we call it pleasures. Pleasure, sense pleasures. So, all these are passing. He observes, the person observes, oh, these are all passing events. Why should I run after these things? I must first master myself. All the senses, I have become a slave of my senses. I have become slave of my mind. Mind says I want that, and I run. Mind says this I want, senses are demanding, mind is supporting, intellect wants to supply somehow, it is using all its powers and trying to get the object. So, in how much of energy, time, everything is consumed, and for a drop of joy, which is going to disappear, and it doesn't end with that. It doesn't end with it. There is dukkha parampara behind. For every joy, there is its counterpart, dukkha. So, the amount of suffering, dukkha yonaya evate, Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddhaha. The wise people will not entertain that. Adyantavanta, it has a beginning and an end. I want endless joy, eternal peace, momentary joy. What will I do? And bondage all the time, throughout. So where is the real happiness? This makes him withdraw from the world of impermanency and ephemerality. Ephemeral, it is ephemeral, short-lived, and it is impermanent. So from there the mind, wherever you see defect, mind recoils from there. So from the world, now it wants, it sees itself being in the cage. I am bound. I am bound to my senses. I am bound to my objects of possession. I am bound to the people with whom I am living, my children, my family. Everywhere I see bondage, then I want to release. Primary thing is I can get released from all things. But where is the release? From my mind, my senses. At all times should I be a servant, a slave of my senses and mind. When to conquer my senses and mind? Life is short and we have long way to travel. So here the seekers of liberation come into picture through experience, not simply. And then the liberated. the struggle goes on for self-conquest, self-purification, all this, all tendencies we have acquired, the vasanas that we have acquired has to be cleaned. Now I adopt spiritual means, spiritual life, spiritual practices by which all these are eliminated. The main thing is, what I am doing is, I am putting new samskaras from which the old samskaras are replaced by the new samskaras. New samskaras are taking me towards divine. Old samskaras were taking me towards the world. This I have to replace. I go on doing japa, calling on God, trying to love, singing the bhajans, songs of God. Various. God has given me so many faculties. He has given me body to serve, to worship. He has given me senses, karmendriya, jnanendriya, buddhi, manas, heart to love, intellect to understand the words of the saints and scriptures, mind to follow. All these he turns towards the divine. He utilizes all these. Now go on doing japa, go on doing, cultivating viveka, nitya vastu viveka. Then renunciation, iha mutra phalabhoga viraga. See, a few days back, yesterday I think, Swamiji's birthday, yesterday morning, 3 people took white clothes. What a grand thing in life. Many lives after bahunam janmanamante prapadyate. To offer oneself entirely, unconditionally to God forever is how many lives we must have spent and struggled to give ourselves unconditionally and entirely to God. So this begins. Now when it is, in spite of doing spiritual practices, we see the old samskaras are still continuing. It become little by little weakened because of the viveka. But don't get destroyed so easily. From gross level, we eliminate at gross level first. I become independent from the external thing at gross level. Then I have to tackle it at subtle level. Then I have to tackle it at causal level. So, vasana should be, which I can understand. When I see an object is pulling me. I want to possess that object. My gross I am able to understand. I am being dragged towards it. Then I use the viveka. I use prayer. Oh God, help me. Something is carrying me away. So each time something wants to take me away to the world, some inner drive, inner urge makes me run towards the world. I use viveka, I use prayer to stop that mind and bring it towards the divine. Again, after some time you see the same thing is again bubbling. It doesn't end with one, but each time you fail, its strength is decreasing little by little. It may take many years to overcome a single vasana, especially those which are associated with enjoyments, physical base enjoyments. So it doesn't decrease so easily, it comes. You see, in our younger days, we used to use ink in the ink pen. In the pen we put the ink and write. Still earlier, when I was small boy, school, before preschool going, my father and all, they used to nib in the, it's called handle, in the ink and write with a blotting paper in the left hand. Go on blotting, right hand, go on dipping and writing. That was the system. So this, we will leave for a few days the ink in the ink bottle without proper capping it. It will get dried up. When you come and see, hard crust is there. It is like that. Now, how to remove that? We keep it below a tap and open the tap. And pure fine water will be going inside. And colored water, blue color, red color, whatever ink was there, that colored water is coming out, coming out, coming out, coming out. Thin stream we leave, like japa going inside, and dirt is coming out in return. We'll be wondering, I am doing so much of japa, why these vasanas are coming in more powerfully than earlier? Because it is replacing. It is replacing. After 2-3 hours of water flow, you will see that ink bottle has become pure and clean, crystal clear. Water as it goes, it comes out. Then it is clean. So this gross level, through prayer and viveka, we overcome. And then subtle level, it will be there. We will not know. That is, when you are in a society with people, nothing should be able to affect you. Anybody calling you names, any losses happening, anybody troubling you, nothing should. Great losses. I lost my child, should not be able to. I have duties to perform, but I should not get affected. I always tell the 3 things by which you will not be affected. One is the external situation should not affect you. Other people living with you should not affect you. And your own bodily condition should not affect you. So you must become independent of these external situations. You must be master of situation. You must be master of your body. That is conquest. Self-conquest. So the whole attention is driven towards self-conquest. And you see, when you are in this society, nothing is affecting you. Everything is nice, everything. You feel you have conquered all the senses and mind, everything. But when you see, the moment you enter into ekanta, when you enter into solitude, all things will be coming with the same force. Because you have crossed the gross level, they all were hiding within, at the subtle level, sukshma level. Sthula level, after conquering, then a longer and longer period of ekanta. When you are in ekanta, separately sitting alone, all these vasanas will start coming out, the subtle vasanas. Again, you will use the same method of purification. Oh, what am I longing for? And when in ekanta also nothing disturbs you, you are yourself always. Wherever you want, you can keep the mind. Whenever you want, you can take back. You can keep it in meditation. You can keep it in work. You can keep it. So much of flexibility, so much of purity, so much of seeing things in a new way. The world is a joyful place. Your bodily existence is a joy. Settled vasanas also have gone. But still, it will be in the causal form as the seed. Bija, vasana bija will remain. That is destroyed only in samadhi sthitis. You enter into deep concentration, deep meditation, dhyana. In dhyana, when you enter into superconscious state and get the vision of God, and then from savikalpa you move on to the nirvikalpa, you see that the vasana bija is getting destroyed. In vows that we take, brahmacharya vows, we specifically use this term, vasana bija sudanaya, for Sri Ramakrishna. He is vasana bija sudanaya, destroyer of the vasana bija in us. The moment this vestige of vasana bija is destroyed, you are one with God. You experience that aham brahmasmi, atmoham. That experience comes to you when the vasanas are destroyed. This state is called liberation. When a person is liberated, he is free from nature, all the laws of nature. He has transcended the nature. He has entered into the realm eternal life, eternal existence, Shashvata Jivana, Shashvata Dhama. You will be in that state of existence. This is Anityam Asukham Lokam. Krishna uses the term for this mortal world as Anityam Asukham Lokam Imam Prapsya Bhajasva. Having come to this world of impermanency, Anityam, Asukham, there is no joy here. Sukha is not there. In this world, you have Sukha and Shanti and all are dream words which you will find in this world searching. So after realization, you see that everywhere Sukha and Ananda alone is there. There is nothing called bondage at all. There was neither bondage nor liberation. You were yourself. A dream came up and dream went away. Dream of the world came and dream of the went. So this state in which a person exists is called the liberated, Baddha Mukta. The other one is Jignasu, one who wants to know what is God. There are 4 types of men. Those who are bound by the fetters, Baddha, fetters of the world, seekers of liberation, Mumukshu, Moktum Ichuhu, desirous of liberation, the liberated, Mukta, and ever free. They never get bound. With the creation they come, with the creation they go. They are called Nitya Siddhas. Baddha, Mumukshu, Mukta and Nitya, the 4 types of jivas. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna says in this context. Same context of dealing with the world and living in the world. How should we live? And what are the 4 types of people? We see tomorrow. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhritavikraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.